back to the Mom Life podcast.
Oh, she jumps right in there.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We're here.
With another exciting topic.
Not so exciting.
It's not that exciting, but something exciting is coming up, and that's the St. Patty's Day scavenger hunt.
There we go.
March
Got it.
21st.
Yes.
Early bird pricing until February 21st.
So you got 2 weeks left.
Yep. Teams of 4 to 6. We are accumulating some teams. I know a lot of people are getting their plan together because they know that it is such a fun day, and they do not want to miss out on all the fun. They don't want to have FOMO.
Nope. Yeah, this is good. Like I said last time, this is going to be the best scavenger hunt we've had. I'm going to start working on it really soon.
And making sure that we have one winner. Remember, there's only going to be one winner.
I promise I never start working on it by this point, so this is like ahead of the game.
Just us talking about it is just ahead of the game. So just a reminder to get that on your schedule if you've been thinking about it. You got 2 weeks to grab a team, to get the early bird pricing, to get signed up, and the proceeds this year are going to some different causes or what?
Yeah, so some of it's going to go to the Highland Women's Club and to a bunch of different youth sports programs in Highland.
Yeah, we want to just support. All the money's going to stay local in the community to help out kids. That's our main thing. But the Highland Women's Club helps kids at all the Highland school districts in conjunction with the school nurses to bring basic necessities to them that they are in need of and that the nurses notice they need. So wonderful cause, as well as all of the other proceeds will also go to some sort of youth.
Yeah,
programs.
Youth sports. I'm constantly being asked by every kid that plays any type of sport for some type of sponsorship and donation. So I want to just be able to more or less give it right back to them, not worry about it. So, like I said, I am confident that this is going to be a great scavenger hunt.
Yes. So you're going to get bombarded with this reminder at the beginning of every episode, but now you can skip ahead to the main part. And today we've been talking to you guys for weeks, months about moms making themselves a priority and moms getting themselves on the to-do list and moms not having enough time to take care of themselves and moms putting themselves off. And I think when we talk to moms, we can all see that they agree that they should be doing that. Like, it's not like no one ever said, no, I shouldn't be doing that. But I think one of the harder topics for them to then overcome is their fears.
Yeah, and I used confidence when I said about scavenger hunt, hoping we'd parlay that into the...
We didn't see what he was doing there.
Didn't pick up on that, but that's okay. It wasn't pre-discussed, so it was just hope.
Try it again.
Yeah.
Try again.
So anyways, about confidence, and a lot of times moms or anybody getting ready to start something new or do something new think that we need to be confident before we can go do the thing, or I need to build a little confidence to go do this thing. And the reality is confidence is something that's earned and not, you don't just get it. Mm-hmm. And like, I've never went into something brand new confident. It comes with a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions, and those are the ones that we want to recognize that and make sure that you understand that it's totally normal to feel all these different feelings that we're going to run through before potentially starting something new, or just even thinking about starting something new, especially a fitness. So we're going to obviously talk about what it's like, all the feelings that you'll get before you start a fitness program. Last week I just made a post on Facebook and just asked, how many people have felt gymxiety at some point? And well, you'd be amazed. Almost every single person put yes. And it's not surprising to me. I mean, I already knew the answer was going to be.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note too that you put it inside of our group here at
the
gym.
Right. Just our gym group.
That was done internally with people who are already attending the gym regularly and are consistent at it now, but they, I don't remember the exact numbers, but most of them experience some form of gym anxiety before ever stepping foot in the gym. Just the thought of it created all these emotions about trying something new and different and being a beginner.
Yeah, and so let's kind of just talk through some of these feelings, so that way, I'm thinking we're gonna, all the ones we say, people are gonna be like, "Yep, that's me, and that's what we want. We want you to feel like, because we know what it feels like, or we know that everybody feels it, and then we know what to do to help with it." So let's start. Josh, what's the number one thought that you think people think of before coming in?
I'm not in good enough shape.
Yeah, I've heard that one. Not in good enough shape to go get help to get in shape.
When you say it like that,
out loud, boy, does it sure sound crazy.
But how many times have we heard that? More times than we can count.
Yeah, like you'll talk to somebody like, "Yeah, I'm going to come and talk to you, but first I'm going to get in shape first." Okay, well, I'll see you after you get in shape and then we'll talk. Right? Like, it's kind of a joke, but it's true. They think that there's a pre-requirement to walk through the front doors, and there just simply is not, because that's what we're here for, is to help you begin
and get in shape.
Yeah, to begin the process, because once you start the process, there's no arrival, there's just a continuation, and then you get to keep building whatever it is that you're looking to build: endurance, strength, balance, whatever your goals are. That's what we're here to help you begin to do.
Yeah. Tina, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear of somebody being anxious about coming in?
Just people are going to be looking at me. Everyone is going to be looking at me. They're walking in, they're like, "Oh, well, who's in the group? What are they going to think about me? Are they going to judge me for what I'm not able to do?" And so the thought of that just creates so much fear that it's easier for them just to not make a decision and not walk through the front door, because it literally just becomes an overwhelming feeling of just downright anxious.
Yeah. And the good news is, like I said, all of pretty much everybody that works out here has went through that feeling as well, so they understand it. So I like to think all our members are very welcoming.
Yeah, and
somebody new. Like, it's exciting for them as well as it is, maybe nerve-wracking for you. It's exciting for the people in the group to get to meet somebody new, to go on this journey with somebody else, and even take them under their wing a little bit and help them out and make them feel comfortable and wanted. And
yeah, I agree with that. And one of the things that when we're getting a beginner started, that is one of the things we talk to them, after they're getting started, and we keep checking in with them. How are things going? How are you feeling? What do you think about, how the workout is? And they're like, "Oh, I really like my group. They're making me feel like they motivate me. They're making me feel good. I didn't know anyone was going to cheer me on. I didn't know anybody was going to be right alongside me the way they are. I didn't know that this group, I was going to make friends with them." And it's just, that's one of the best feelings, is to watch the groups of people that didn't know each other before they walked foot into Pulse, and then now they're friends and making plans potentially outside of the gym. It can just go on and on and on, and we've witnessed that over and over again.
Yeah. And especially too, like, shouldn't surprise me anymore, but it always surprised me, like, when somebody new does walk in and they see a group going on, they always know somebody.
Yep.
Somebody always seems to know somebody when they first walk in.
Probably related to somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my cousin.
Yeah.
Or whatever that they didn't know worked out here, and it kind of automatically brings them down a notch when they see that first person that they know. It automatically makes them feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, the comfort level definitely raises, and then they're like, now they're just worried about the workout, and then they're not even worried about that anymore, because then that's, our job is to then guide them through that beginning process, so that they know that what they're going to be working on is, they're totally capable of doing it, and it's usually far worse in their mind than it actually is. It's always that. It's not usually, it's always that. It's always worse in their mind, and then when they're done, there's a big feeling of relief, and and the readiness to say, oh, I'm ready to do that again, and that was fun.
Yeah. A third big one that I'm confident that goes through people's mind is, what if I fail again? What if this is another thing that I sign up for and I fail at again? So because of all these previous failures that they've had, I'm nervous that this is going to be one more thing that I fail at.
Well, I know we can all speak to it. I for one have failed more times than I can count, and I think I've learned. We've talked about it. That's when we learn how to succeed, is by failing. So that's when I get better.
Yeah, I mean, one failure, is inevitable. We're going to fail at certain things, and I'm not going to say that Pulse is the perfect place for everybody. That's not true, and I'll be the first to, if this isn't the place for somebody, happy to get them to where that place is. But I do believe there is a place for everybody when it comes to fitness. There's so many options out there to go do that everybody can find their home. It's just, you got to be willing to give them a try. And I think, obviously I'm biased, but rarely do we get somebody walk in the door and they don't make it a month or 6 weeks. Like,
I just don't even remember that ever happening.
So people, generally speaking, make it a pretty long time without just giving up or, whatever, failing at it. So
yeah, that's a really good point, because I know that is a big struggle for moms, is just feeling like they're always behind, and then therefore that turns into that whole failure story. And you're right, and I've experienced that on multiple occasions and more than one thing in fitness and just other areas of my life that I've been trying to improve in. And if we, tell ourselves a story about the failure, you're right, it's going to show up and you're going to think about it all the time. And I think that's one of the great things about walking through the front doors here, is because now that you're in this community, it's positive, it's uplifting, you're in your group, you're with one of the trainers, you're with a coach, you're with a guide, and our job is to help you get through that fear of failure so that you can succeed. We had a beginner group start last year, and I am working on getting them on the podcast so that because I want them to share their story. But one of the things that two of them, because I've met with them recently, just about their quarterly check-in, and both of them have said, like, I've never wanted to stay at a gym this long. And these were people who had very, very high anxiety and a lot of fear around joining. And so it's just a testament that the only way to get through something is to go through it, right? And that's still very hard, because if it's in your mindset that you're going to fail, there's a good chance that you will. There's also a good chance, if you can get around in the right place with the right people in the right community, that you're going to succeed, and you're going to find that everybody around here is cheering for you, and that makes it so much easier.
I had one of those conversations myself with a mom and a check-in 2 weeks ago. When we went over our wins from 2025, her win was that she was still here working out, because she had never made it at a gym that long. And when she started, she didn't expect to be here, and she was still here. And it's her group, her community. That's what's hopefully a little bit of what we've built and we're doing has kept her.
Yeah. So there is no us just telling you to relax or just get over it. But you are going to have to build up we always try to talk about not going off willpower. This one, you're going to need a little bit of willpower to open that, make that first contact, make that first reach out. I guess before we kind of get into, I wanted to talk about the process of a beginner, so to maybe help ease some of these emotions. But if we had any other ones that we wanted to hit on that you thought would be important to point out,
we could probably come up with a list of 20, 30, 40 words to
probably a whole nother show.
To describe how it feels when you're just unsure. But I think this next part, or what Jeff's going to get into, is this is going to speak to those of you who are really, maybe you watch our show but you don't interact. Maybe you follow us on social media but you don't interact. Maybe you have a friend who works out here but you don't interact. I think this will give you a very good insight onto what it would look like to overcome the fear of at least reaching out and seeing what it would look like for you.
Yeah. And, we've tried to create a process to get people started based on knowing all these fears. Like, we know the things, we know exactly what you're feeling. We know exactly what you're thinking. So we're trying to take extra measures and do everything that we can to calm these emotions. Like I said, we're never going to stop them. You're going to have to experience it for yourself. But the first thing is you don't just jump right in, so all the time people are like, oh, can I just bring my friend into a group? No, you can't.
We've tried you to bring your friends, but don't just bring them.
We would love you to bring your friends, but no, they can't just show up and work out. I promise you that will never work. The amount of fear and things to just think that you're going to walk in, stand in front of a group of 6-8 people, start working out, that's never going to happen. So the first step is just reaching out to you and just starting a conversation via text or a phone call and starting to get just a feel for where you're at. Just where are you personally? And then the next step is coming in when nobody else is here. Or if there are other people here, you're going to come into the office. It's going to be quiet and it's going to be just you and a coach, either Josh, Tina, or myself. And we're just going to sit down and have a conversation about what this is going to look like for you, how, what your struggles are, where you're at personally, and what we offer, and make sure that we're a good fit before we even start anything else. Is make sure that this is where you want to be, that, we think we can work well together. And then going over scheduling, what does it look like for your actual lifestyle? Because you can will your way in here, but actually visually picturing it like, okay, I'm going to be, go through your schedule. What does your day look like or week look like? When are you actually available? Mm-hmm. And then we find out it's 5 a.m. at Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, whatever. But we come up with that game plan, go over exactly what a workout's going to look like for you. You're not going to jump into a workout with people that have been doing this for 3, 4, 5 years. Your workout will be specifically for you. Most likely you'll be one-on-one with a coach for at least a couple workouts. Mm-hmm. Just depends on where you're at. And then we'll slowly integrate you into the group and introduce you to everybody before you start working out. So lots of little pieces. But what am I missing? Anything?
Nothing. I mean, you got it all. I mean, we want to make you feel comfortable by bringing you in so that we can talk to you about what you want, and then meeting you where you're at, and then getting you started slowly so that you can build that confidence to continue and want to continue and to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. One thing that we had a few ladies start here recently in the past few weeks that I've been working with, and one thing that came to mind was working on the first thing we were working on was working on movement patterns and how their body moves and doing things correctly. So as we advance, we feel good. We're not getting injured. That was, one of the beginning things that I was thinking about.
Yeah. So I hope that can at least help let you visualize that when you even just walking in the door, somebody's going to be there waiting to greet you. You're not going to walk into a space and wonder, where do I go? Is anybody here? We'll be waiting for you at the front door to greet you and guide you wherever you need to go. So
yeah, you'll get to come in the podcast studio. So, I mean, if anything, I know that probably should make you really excited.
Oh yeah. And we won't record you.
No, we will not.
So any other thoughts on being a beginner at something and what it looks like or feels like?
I mean, the truth is that who really likes to be a beginner and feel like they're going to fail? But, we would like to think that it's the first step in success. So just to reframing those thoughts and those feelings and those words that you're using, reframing them to what the next step would look like. And again, hopefully if this is just, I know that I've talked to moms, even recently within the past few weeks, and they may just come up to me at a random place. It just happened to me at a restaurant on Friday. I was having lunch and a mom kind of pulled me aside that I had no idea even followed anything that I did. And she's just like, hey, can I pick your brain about something for a second? And just talking to her. And it's just like, I know that there are moms out there who are thinking about taking steps and making time for themselves. And hopefully this gives you an opportunity just to learn about what the first steps would look like without actually having to do anything. At least this gives you just another thing that you can think about if it's something that taking action on would actually feel really good, but you've just been kind of keeping it buried.
Yeah. So the first step would be just send a message. Just text and hit send.
Yep.
And it can see where it goes from there.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love